Well, welcome back to NDI Central Live here at NAB 2018. We're in the South Hall of the Las Vegas Convention Center talking to customers. We're talking about talking to users and developers, manufacturers, all about NDI technology. And right now we have Corey Behnke, co-founder of ProductionBot, and we're going to find out how NDI technology has affected ProductionBot. But first, what is ProductionBot?
Thanks, Rex. Thanks for having me on. ProductionBot is a hardware platform. It's an open hardware platform powered by vMix. And so it's basically a switcher in a suitcase.
Okay.
We have an SDI 4-channel version and an SDI 8-channel version. vMix was one of the first software versions to work with NDI. Andrew Cross and Martin from vMix work very well together. And so we allow you to basically take these awesome new tech NDI cameras and travel with them in a Pelican case with your switcher, with your ProductionBot, and go anywhere, do anything.
So you're offering a vMix turnkey solution, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, and then so how many models do you have?
So we have two models. We have a 4-channel version and an 8-channel version. They both can fit in a carry. We have a carry case that comes with ProductionBot.
Okay.
You can take it. You can put it on the plane. That's a big thing. So I also run LiveX, which is a live production company. And so a big thing for us is we don't like to put the switcher in the baggage. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but it's like I like to know that I can put my portable switcher right in the carry-on with my stuff. I know it's there. I know when I get to the set, I can drop it, plug it in, plug in NDI cameras, plug in my SDI cameras, and be good to go.
Yeah, being able to do that, being able to bring it on as a carry-on gives you good peace of mind.
Yeah, confidence. Yeah, yeah. I can sleep better.
Yeah.
Very important.
Know you're going to show up with your equipment.
Yeah, it's actually going to work. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Bounced around. Well, how long have you been in this business and then working with this stuff?
So I was head of production and services at Livestream.com, and so I helped launch Livestream Studio. And so I kind of had this experience of launching the studio product, and I missed it. And so when I was at LiveX, my partner, Joe Husson, and we were like, hey, this needs to be in the marketplace. So we teamed up with vMix, and we created this product about 2 years ago. And some of the shots that we have are of LiveX. So at LiveX, we have 9 systems. And what's cool is we don't just use vMix. So we'll use Touch Designer. We use Adobe Premiere. So it's an open platform. So it's a computer. So you can pull out of vMix and go to other things. So we've actually used it on an Acura commercial. We've used it on New Year's Eve in Times Square to run graphics. So it's really versatile, and it's very robust, and it's very powerful.
So you're really offering an optimized system to work in video and graphics, and you're basically taking the guesswork out of the type of system that
building your own box.
Yeah, building your own box.
Which is a pain, and then you don't know what works, and we get it certified, so it's globally certified. It's got all of, which are hard. I mean, working with TriCaster and some of your hardware products, having that peace of mind on the certification is a big deal than just like, me building a computer, getting Newegg parts, and seeing if it works.
Yep. Hopefully everything's in the right place. So you also have live conferencing in vMix as well.
So the cool thing about vMix for me is vMix Call is amazing. So we did this. vMix Call obviously uses WebRTC as its underlying, which is a Google open source protocol. And what's really cool about it is WebRTC operates over UDP. So it allows me to go long distances back and forth, point to point. So it basically replaces Skype for some users. And so we did this show where we had an orchestra playing with each other over WebRTC. Montreal, so we had a ProductionBot in Montreal, one in New York, and one in London. And we were able to it's a web conference, very low latency, back and forth, and then create a program out of that.
Okay.
So it's really versatile, and vMix Call is part of vMix. We offer vMix with ProductionBot automatically. vMix is a really, really versatile switcher Army knife. I mean, even if some people say, oh, it replaces a hardware switcher or replaces a computer switcher, it doesn't actually. Like, there's a ton of use cases where you could have it in front of a TriCaster, upstream of a TriCaster, so you're doing RTMP pulls, you're doing vMix call, and then you're pulling that into your TriCaster or your hardware switcher, or you can have it on the back end as your encoder downstream. So, you know, maybe you don't want to utilize all the resources you have in your TriCaster for streaming and encoding because you're going to a bunch of places, like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you know, what have you. So you go downstream, you come out the SDI or NDI, right? You come out NDI into Production Bot and use it as an encoder. So it's really kind of like a Swiss Army knife that's really great to have because it's powerful. Upstairs, we're using Production Bot with a Blackmagic with ATEM. So we're using vMix to do graphics into ATEM, and then we're using a Clearcaster. Wow, does Clearcaster go to Facebook? So I really like that because there's some times where, you know, if you're doing House of Worship, you're doing a conference,
Right.
you want the portability. So you're like, you know what? If it fails, it's the end of the world, but it's not like some bigger shows, right, where you cannot fail.
Right.
So I might use a TriCaster or I might use a hardware switcher as my robust switching solution, and then I'll use Production Bot on the front and Production Bot on the back to encode.
Okay, very good. Now, how do you see the use of PTZ cameras really kind of affecting how your customers are doing production?
Well, the big thing, and NDI kind of contributes to this. So the big thing is, as you know, with older PTZ cameras, you'd have an SDI connection, you have power, and then
Control.
typically you need control of your Ethernet. And so having that Cat6 PoE Ethernet eliminates 2 other cables. That's amazing. But also in vMix, you can control all the cameras. So I can actually take an Xbox controller, plug it in USB, and I can have a kid who knows how to do that, right? And it's like, hey, just you're controlling camera 1. You just deal with those 2 people. And it just makes it easy. Like, that's kind of the thing is you guys have done a really good job with is taking this very complicated thing that still is complicated and just kind of making it a lot easier. I remember the first time I used a TriCaster, it was a TriCaster 300, and I never used anything I was, you know, in my early 30s, and it just like worked. Like I just was like, oh, there's where that is. Oh, there's where that is. And I didn't know MEs or any of that stuff, and it didn't matter. Like once you learn it, it just becomes kind of easy, and NDI kind of takes that approach, and you can just plug in a camera, run the camera, control it, 1 cable. I mean, kind of what you want.
Yeah. Well, and for so many uses, education, corporate use, conferences, it lends itself to a PTZ camera where you don't have to have someone standing behind the camera for 8 hours at a conference. And when when you're shooting a panel discussion of 3 people sitting behind a table, it's not a lot of motion, but you still need to be able to reframe the shots, and it's just a button push away rather than communication to the operator and all that.
Totally. Well, and as you know, it's like you and I talking might not be the most interesting thing in the world, but
I think it is.
but
right here, right now, anyway.
But, having these cameras, being able to go, hey, I want to go tight on him. No, I want to go back. No, I want to go to a 2-shot.
Yeah.
It just gives a little variety and a little bit of excitement to something that might not otherwise be exciting.
Very good. Well, thank you for coming. This is, I mentioned it earlier that the show is pretty brisk, for the first day. So we'll see how it continues out, but it seems like it might be a record breaker.
Yeah, and come see us. We're at the NDI Pavilion, and we've been jam-packed, so it's been great. Thank you for having us.
If you are planning to come to NAB, again, make sure you stop by the NDI Pavilion. It's right next to the NewTek booth, and you can visit Production Bot and all the other exhibitors there to find out, again, the latest, greatest NDI technology products. Corey, again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And stick around. We're going to be right back after a short break.